Gong, the Flying Teapot Trilogy. Gong were an Anglo-French ensemble fronted by an Australian. They made 4 albums with their classic early 70s lineup, Camembert Electric, and this trilogy of The Flying Teapot, Angel's Egg and You. I first heard Gong on a Sunday afternoon radio show on BBC Radio London. It may have been called Fresh Garbage because the song Fresh Garbage by Spirit was the theme tune. Because they announced they were playing music by Gong, and I knew that Gong had a soft machine connection, I had my cassette recorder ready and recorded 2 songs from the Flying Teapot album. One of them had some naughty words which appealed greatly to my puerile schoolboy sensibilities. The music was interesting and challenging in places. The songs were a bit like David Bowie in his Anthony Newley phase. The Starman could have been waiting in the sky in a flying teapot. Over the 3 albums it runs the gamut from nursery rhymes to modal jazz. It is a bit spacey in a Hawkwind kind of way, with whooshing noises and echoes on the voices. They cover different world musics. There is plenty of music with an Eastern influence. On the first album this tends to be a bit hackneyed, like a Wilson Keppel and Betty Sand dance in the old bazaar in Cairo. Then on the second album you might think they are taking things a bit more seriously, till they sing Harry Harry Supermarket and Harry Harry London Bus. There is also a Plinky Plonk Oriental section and a Cockney pub knees up. One Gong trademark was the space whisper, a female voice shrieking in an almost Jane Birkin Je t'aime manner, reverberating as if from the bottom of a great chasm. The thing that made it stand out from Soft Machine and other prog rock at the time was it all sounded fun. Humour seemed to be as big a part of it as the musical dexterity. It was not the Zappa-type satire of the times, but a more British goon show Pythonesque daftness with silly voices, and a daft tale of a hero called Zero, with pothead pixies, and a floating radio station called Radio Gnome Invisible. It was sort of like Lord of the Rings meets the Teletubbies. I never really felt the need to follow the story. It probably follows the story arc of The Wizard of Oz, because they always do. Gong were the first big gig I ever went to. It was at the Lyceum. Beer was 26p a pint. Steve Hillage was very much the lead guitar hero. David Allen was the singer and rhythm guitarist, dressed in hippie robes, and he preached hippie messages of peace, disguised as trippy fairy stories. It was the craziest music imaginable, played with dedication and precision by mysterious players who had been given silly names like Captain Beefheart's Magic Band members. The third album effectively brings all the musical styles and philosophies together like a sonic United Nations. They were serious times for music fans. Young men of my ilk would analyse the playing and study the lyrics. We would arrange attributes in hierarchies. We would rank and argue and speculate. But Gong defied all attempts to categorise. They were the most fun you could have listening to quite experimental music. And at the end of it all, you could follow the advice of the Pothead Pixies and have a cup of tea. And another one. The Flying Teapot Trilogy. Gong.